Mnangagwa has gone wrong and go he must. We invited him to go peacefully, but instead he is digging in and continues to push the unconstitutional agenda of 2030. The only 2030 you will see is 8:30 on the clock.
The events of 2017, 2018 seem to be playing all over again in Zimbabwe. I mean, history seems to be repeating itself in Zimbabwe. I do remember very well in 2018, 2017, 2018. It was a time when I was reading a book by Niccolo Machiavelli, the book The Prince, which was a special book which has become, which a lot of people would call the Bible of politics. I mean, where Niccolo Machiavelli poured his intelligence, and he was a very special writer. And Machiavelli had a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience because he is said to have lived and served so many princes in his time in Florence. So he brings a lot of special knowledge, and he wrote about the principalities, how principalities are formed. In the book, The Prince, Machiavelli wrote how principalities are formed. And there's a specific one which speaks to the situation which was in Zimbabwe. And I remember I tried to look at on my Facebook where I posted this post in 2018, just long back. Uh, and he was talking about this kind of principality that Emerson has acquired power via the army and the generals. And he spoke how unstable this kind of principality is, because your legitimacy is at question every single time. As we all know, the question of legitimacy was always posed to Emerson Mnangagwa's lead. And also, because you have been given the power by the generals, you are supposed to make them happy, and you are supposed to serve them, and they will make demands to you in order for you to please them, and you have to keep them happy. Unless if you consolidate power to yourself, these generals will keep you under their control as a puppet, and you must do their will. And we can see it play out now. As soon as a fallout happens, with any relationship, fallouts are bound to happen. As soon as the fallout comes, they will come back and try to replace you and try to remove you, as what they are doing now. You can see them coming, but the question ought to be, how much did Emerson consolidate power to himself? How much influence of the army does he have now? As soon as a fallout happens between you and those generals who have given you power, they will come back and remove you and try to replace you with somebody else, because you have not done their will. You have not made them happy. You have not kept them pleased. And the people of Zimbabwe mustn't be fooled when they see them wearing sheep clothing. They are not sheep. They are wolves. They come and try and legitimize their conversation and what they are trying to do, and say it's because the people are not being served. But if you look, this played again in 2018. The people were involved, but just to be used in order to legitimize their selfish interests. If anybody would recall Emerson Mnangagwa's first speech, it was so decorated with nice words of freedom and democracy, but none of that was true. It was just to try and legitimize himself as if he is there for the people. The one big mistake that these old leaders, especially our ZANU-PF party, makes is making the whole thing about themselves, not about the people of Zimbabwe. If Emerson Mnangagwa had chosen to change the way his ways, and come down off the mountain that he is living in, and come down and meet the people and please the people and serve the people, you could have won the people. But unfortunately, the way they think they are the kings. I was speaking to someone the other day, and he says to me, you know what the problem of Africa, because we come from that era of kings, and the politicians feel like they are entitled, they are above us, and they own us. So if they could change their mindset and actually realize that they need the support of the people in order to stay in power, and actually realize that they are supposed to be serving the people. Even, the party ZANU-PF itself, I do not think It's impossible for them to rejuvenate themselves and reshape themselves and change themselves, but it requires a lot. That's why it is difficult for them to change themselves. I'm sure it is very difficult for the people of Zimbabwe to trust them ever again, but it can be done. I'm sure they can change themselves, bring in new blood, bring in new faces, and the old leaders can sit behind the back and kind of support new leadership emerging within the party with different mindset, not the mindset that they have. So the question in many people's minds is it another coup being prepared again? We yet to see it, but it sounds like it and smells like it. It seems like it's gonna be 2018 again. The big question that remains is how much did Emerson Mnangagwa consolidate power? How much influence does he have within the army ranks? But otherwise, if he doesn't have much influence and much power, the generals are gonna come and take him out again. But he made the one big mistake. If he had gone to the people and climbed down of the mountain that he was living in and become the favorite of the people, that would have served him. Even if he would still not try and please the generals, but if he pleased the people would have stood by him, and it would be difficult for the generals to take him out. But unfortunately, he did not do that. He did not try and please the people. He did not try and save the people. As they say, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. They remain of the same mindset that they are the rulers and they are the special elite class. They are a special elite class that doesn't have to be bothered by the people. They do not care about the people they serve. They do not serve the people.